First problem. Identify the number of nodes in the circuit shown in the figure. Second, how many branch circuit can you identify in the circuit shown in the figure? And last, assuming that you would solve the different voltages using a KVL, how many mesh can you identify? First, identify muna natin kung ilang nodes daw sa circuit na ito. So, ano nga ba ang nodes? Node is a point in circuit or network where two or more circuit elements are connected. So, bilangin na natin. Itong blue, yung pangkat natin ang nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, bakit hindi ko nilagyan dito or dito? Since ito, isang element lang to, diretso lang to laban na diretso lang to na nakakonect dito. So, hindi na lalagyan dito. Ganon din sa baba kasi diretso na siya nakakonect. Hindi ibig sabihin na yung node is corner. Basta, yung node is yung point in network where two or more circuit elements are connected. So, dito naman tayo sa branch. Kung bilangin natin yung branch niya ay, pero bago yan, ano nga ba ang branch? Branch represent a single circuit element like resistor, voltage source, etc. So, bilangin natin. Lang labelan natin ng green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yan yung branch niya. Lista muna natin guys. 5 nodes. 7 branch. And last, assuming that you would solve the different voltages using KVL, how many mesh can you identify? Ang mesh, pwede na natin matawag na loop. So, ano nga ba ang loop? Any closed path in the circuit can be called as loop. So, pwede tayong mag-loop dito. 1, loop 1. Dito sa triangle na to. Loop 2. Tapos dito sa triangle na to. Loop 3. Loop 3. So, 3 loops. Or mesh. So, para summarize, ang circuit na to ay naglalaman ng 5 nodes, 7 branch, and 3 mesh. The light bulb in the figure rated 120 volts with 0.75 ampere. Calculate Vs to make the light bulb operate at the rated conditions. First, determine muna natin yung mga papasok at lalabas. Dito, papasok ang I1. Since wala tong sign, ang maging sign convention natin, papasok lagi ang mga papasok sa positive, tapos lalabas sa negative. Positive, negative, positive, negative. Tapos, dito naman yung ating I2. Tapos ang ating voltage 1. Dito naman yung I3. Tapos, voltage 2. Tapos, ang ating loop. Ito yung loop 1. Tapos, itong ating magiging node. Tawagin natin sa pangalang alpha. So, first, identify muna natin yung mga given. ang ating I2, which is sabi na 0.75 ampere. Tapos yung ating V1 na 120 volts. Since ang V1, B1 at B2 ay nasa parallel sila, pwede nating sabihin na V1 is equal to V2. So, 120 volts equal to 120 volts. So, first, determine muna natin yung V2 dito. V2 is equal to yung 80 ohms, multiply mo ng I3. Since ang sinabi natin B1 equals to B2, ang ating B2 ay 120 is equal to 80 I3. So, pwede na natin malaman ang I3 by shift solve. Alpha equals 80x. Ang x natin ay 3 halves or 1.5 ampere. Next, dito naman tayo sa node alpha. At node alpha, ang summation ng papasok in is equal to summation ng lalabas out. Ito yung papasok sa node A ay I1 is equal to lalabas na I2 plus yung ating I3. Since given ng I2 which is 0.75, tapos na-solve na natin ng I3 na 1.5, pwede na natin ma-solve yung I1 which is 0.75 plus 1.5 is equal to 2.25 ampere. 2.25 ampere. Pagkatapos nyan, pwede na natin malaman yung voltage source. Gamitin naman natin itong loop 1. So, at loop 1, summation ng volts is equal to 0. Loop 1 natin ay negative BS plus yung volt natin dito which is 2.25 times 40 ohms plus 120 is equal to 0. So, pwede na natin malaman yung VS. 2.25 times 40 plus 120 equals to 210. So, ang VS natin dito ay 210 volts. Next problem. 3 light bulbs are connected in series to a 100 volt battery as shown in the figure. Find the current I through the bulb. So, ang magagamit natin dito, kung paano natin masolve yung current, ay summation of power. Ang alam natin na formula is P is equal to IV. Then, solve. Summation of power is equal to 0. Since ang power is equal to IV, so 100 volts times I, negative to negative kasi papasok sa negative na sign, plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 is equal to 0. So, solve na natin yung I. Negative 100x plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 alpha equals 0, which is 6.5, or in decimal places, 2i 1.2. 1.2 ampere. Ito na yung sagot, guys. 100 microampere ammeter has an internal resistance of 100 ohms. For extending its range to measure 500 microampere, the shunt required is of resistance. So, pwede natin sabihin na ang resistant ng shunt required, ban natin yung kulay para makita. Resistant ng shunt required is equal to shunt ng internal resistance ng coil over nung total current over full scale deflection of current minus 1. So, RSH is equal to RM, yung internal resistance ng coil, 100 ohms. 100 over total current, 500 over nung full scale deflection, which is yung 100 microampere minus 1. Or, pwede natin masimplify na 500 divided by 100 is equal to 5 minus 1. Ang ating RSH ay RSH 100 divided by 5 minus 1, 25. Ang ating resistance ng shunt required ay 25 ohms. Ito na final answer. Next problem. The value of resistance shown in the given figure 1.01 is, so ito yung hinahanap, R. R dito daw sa figure na ito. So, paano natin masasolve dyan? So, ilagay muna natin yung mga kailangan. So, ito ang ating magiging loop 1. Ito yung ating magiging voltage 1. Ito ay yung V2. So, pwede natin gamitin ang summation of voltage equal to 0. So, summation at loop 1 muna tayo. At loop 1. Summation ng voltage equal to 0. So, papasok yung negative 50 sa negative side. So, negative 50 volts plus 10 plus B1 plus dito. Kasi wala siyang sign. Yan. Is equal to 0. V1 is equal to, so pwede natin ma-solve. So, lipat natin yung 50 sa kabila. Sa kabilang side, magiging positive 50. Tapos itong 10, magiging negative. So, 50 minus 10 is equal to 40. So, 40 volts. Tapos next, since ang V1 at V2 ay parallel, pwede nating sabihin na ang V1 is equal to V2. So, ang ating V2 is equal to I times R. Ang ating V1 ay equals to V2. So, pwede nating lagay na 40 is equal to ating resistance dito na 4 times resistance, current pala, times R. So, pwede na natin i-solve that. R is equal to, ay lumabas ng calculus guys. Yan. 40 alpha equals 40 alpha x is equal to, 40, 4 lang pala. 4. So, 10. Ang ating R doon ay 10 ohms. Ito natin yung final answer. Find resistance AB in the circuit given in figure 1.25. Since papansin nyo sila ay connected ng pagganito, pwede nating sabihin na ito ay nakakonect sila pagganito hanggang dun. Tapos ito din, ganun din. Ito na pinag-combine pag ganun din. Connect sila dito. Tapos pwede din nating combine itong dalawa na to, itong dalawa na to, tapos itong dalawa na to. So, drawing ko para ma-visualize nyo. Ito magiging B. Ito yung 8 ohm. Tapos, since sinabi ko kanina na ito ay pa-connect pa ganon, magiging ibang pen to. Wait lang, drawing muna natin dito guys. 2 ohms. Tapos 15. Ito yung 10. Next ay diretso na ito hanggang doon din. Pati ito. Tapos, ang pan na dito, magiging ito na yung 20 ohms. Ito yung 30 ohms. Ito doon. Tapos, ito yung 40 ohms. 10 ohms. Levelan natin siya guys. Ito yung A, D, G naman to. Ito ay F. Levelan natin guys. Ito ay 8 ohm. Ito ay 2 ohm. Ito ay 30 ohm. 20 ohm. 40 ohm. 10 ohm. 10 ohm ulit. Tapos ito natitira na to, 15 ohm. So, pwede natin pag-combine ito. Ito. Tapos ito. Pero isa-isa siya guys. So, magiging ganito na yung kinainatnan niya. From dito, naging ganito. From dito, naging ganyan. So, magiging ganito na siya guys. Ito. Ito na yung B. Tapos ito yung A na may 2 ohms. Ito na yung B. Magiging ito, 20 plus 30 magiging 50. Ito F. B. Magiging palitan natin. Pangit. Yung isa 40 plus 10, 50 ulit. Tapos yung 10 plus 15. Level natin 2 ohm. 2 ohms. 8 ohms. 20 plus 30, 50 ohms, 50 ohms, and then 25 ohms since 15 plus 10. O pwede nating sabihin na ang resistance at FGD is equal to 1 over yung 50, 1 over 50 plus 1 over 50 ulit plus 1 over 25. By the way, kung saan nang galing yan, ito yan. Ang resistance ng parallel ay 1 over R. So, kapag kinenta natin, yan ay 1 divided by 1 divided by 1 divided 50 plus 1 divided by 50 plus 1 divided by 25. Ito ay 12.5. So, resistance at FGD is 12.5 ohms. Then, ang resistance sa AD equal to B equal to 12.5 plus ito 8 tapos itong 2 plus 8 plus 2. 12.5 plus 8 is equal to 20.5 plus 2 is equal to 22.5 ohms. Ito na yung final answer natin, guys. R, A, B. Next problem would be, what is the equivalent resistance of the circuit of figure 1.2 between terminals A and B? All resistance are in ohms. Also, we must find I in the circuit. So, parang kanina lang to. Itong part na to, pwede na nating i-recti connect doon, dito banda. Tapos, itong part din na to, pwede na nating i-recta dito. Parang kanina lang. So, para makanyo, kailangan ko i-drawing para ma-visualize nyo. Okay, but first, lagyan muna natin ng A, B, C, D. Copy ko lang to, guys. Copy, paste. Tapos, itong part na to ay mawawala dito. So, magiging visualize na ito yung ko. Yan. Tapos, ito na banda. So, ito na yung C. Next, kwentahin na natin yung RAC. Resistance at AC. Resistance at AC is equal to, ito yung AC. 6, nakaparallel siya sa 4. 6, parallel siya sa 4. So, may solution ay 1 over 1 over 6 plus 1 over 4, which is equal to 1 divided by 1 divided by 6 plus 1 divided by 4. Ito ay 2.4. 2.4 ohms. Next na kwentahin natin ay yung resistance sa BC. So, ang BC ay 8 ohm, nakaparallel siya sa 2. So, R BC is equal to 8 parallel to 2. So, it's equal to 1 over 1 divided by 8 plus 1 half. Is equal to calculator. Is equal to 1 divided by 1 divided by 8 plus 0.5. Is equal to 1.6 ohms. 1.6 ohms. Lastly, kuntain natin yung RAB. is equal to 4. Nakaparallel siya sa 2.4 minus 1.6 yung nakita natin kanina. 2.4 plus 1.6. Tapos, kapag lalagay na natin sa formula, 1 divided by 1 divided by 4 plus 1 divided by 2.4 plus 1.6 is equal to 1 divided by 1 divided by 4 1 divided by 4 plus 1 divided by 2.4 plus 1.6 is equal to 2. So, ang sagot dito ay 2 ohms. 2 ohms. Next, find I. So, gamitin natin yung formula na V is equal to IR. Since ang one natin is 12 volts, 12 is equal to I times yung nakuha natin kanina na 2 ohms. 2 ohms. So, ang I natin is 12 divided by 2 is equal to 6. 6 volts. Ito na yung sagot. Next problem. It is found that the resistance of a coil wire increases from 40 ohm at 15 degrees Celsius to 50 ohm to 60 degrees Celsius. Calculate the resistance temperature coefficient at 0 degrees of the conductor material. First, we need to write the given. R1 is equal to 40 ohm. R2 is equal to 50 ohm. Temperature 1 is equal to 15 degrees Celsius. Temperature 2 is 60 degrees Celsius. And alpha O is unknown. First, we need to utilize the equation RT is equal to RO times 1 plus alpha OT. Yan. So, we can get the formula R1 over R2 is equal to RO times 1 plus alpha O T1 over RO 1 plus alpha O T2. We can cancel out RO. So, substitute the given R1 40 over 50 is equal to 1 plus alpha O times T1 15. So, kahit huwag muna natin sulat yung degrees Celsius. 15 times 1 or divided by pala 1 plus alpha O T2 60. So, shift solve ang ating alpha O ay 40 over 50 equals to 1 plus yun ulit 15x over 1 plus 60x. Ang ating x ay paano x 0.0060 or equal to 0.0060 6.061 by 10 raised to negative 3. Ang ating label ay per degrees Celsius. Ito yung final answer. Next problem. Mahaba-haba. Two conductors, one of copper and the other of iron, are connected in parallel and carry equal currents at 25 degrees Celsius. The temperature coefficient of resistance at 0 degrees Celsius are 0.0043 per degree Celsius and 0.0063 per degree Celsius for copper and iron respectively. What proportion of current will pass through the copper element if the temperature is raised to 100 degrees Celsius? And also, what proportion of current will pass through an element if the temperature is raised to 100 degrees Celsius? First, drawing muna natin kung paano yung setup. So, parallel daw sila. Tapos, ito yung isa. Ito yung I, papasok. Tapos ito pababa. Ito ay I prime. Ito ay R copper. Ito ay R iron. Tapos ito yung I double prime. So, at 25 degrees Celsius, I prime is equal to I double prime. So, I prime plus I double prime is equal to I, and also I prime plus I prime is equal to I. 2I prime is equal to I also, and I prime, so I prime is equal to I over 2. So R copper is equal to R iron at 25 degrees Celsius. So at 100 degrees Celsius. First, copper is equal to 0.0043 per degree Celsius, and also alpha iron is equal to 0.0063 per degree Celsius. So ang R copper is equal to R prime copper is equal to R copper times 1 plus alpha T minus T. So is equal to R copper times 1 plus 0.0043 times 100 minus yung 25 degrees Celsius. Ito ay makukuha natin. RCO is equal to 1 plus 0.0043 times 75. Ito ay 1.3225. RO times 1.3225. Next, ang next natin ay, so ayusin na lang. Final answer is R copper is equal to, R prime copper is equal to 1.33, ay, mali, 3225 RCO. So, dito naman tayo sa R prime iron equal to R iron times 1 plus yung alpha niya, 0.0063 times 100 minus 25 is equal to, wala yung calcio guys, 1 plus 0.0063 times 75, 1.4725. R prime iron is equal to Ri times 1.4 1.4725 or R prime iron is equal to 1.4725 R iron. So, ito naman tayo sa I1 is equal to I times R prime over R prime iron plus R prime copper is equal to I times 1.4725 over 1.47. Bali, substitute lang natin yung mga nakuha natin. 4725 plus 1.3225 lang. R iron to plus ito ay R copper or resistance of copper. Next, I1 is equal to 1 over 1.4. Bali, may R1 pa pala dito. 1.4725 R1 over 1.4725 R1 plus 1.3225 R copper. Cancel out. Is equal to, ang I1 natin ay 1.44725 plus 1.4725 plus 1.3225. Ito ay 0.5268. 0.5268. Kapag ginawa nating percentage, ito ay 52.68. So, ito na yung kuwan natin sa iron. So, I1 is equal to 52.68%. Ito na yung copper. Next, highlight lang natin, guys. Next will be, para naman makuha yung kuwan, yung sa iron, minus lang natin siya sa 100% since isang problem lang naman to. Magiging 100% minus 52.68% is equal to 100 minus 52.68 is equal to 47.32%. Ito ay para sa iron. So, ito yung final answer natin na dalawa.
For problem 14 and 15, we have first to find the givens. So, R1 is 3.146 ohms and R2 is equals to 3.767 ohms. So the temperature 1 is at 40 degrees and temperature 2 is at 100 degrees Celsius. So first we use the equation R2 is equals to R1 is equals to 1 plus T2 minus T1. Now, insert the remaining values. So, R2 is equals to 3.767 is equals to 3.146 equals 1 plus T equals to 100 minus 40. which is the temperature. So this equation solves number 15, which is 3.29 times 10 minus 3 per Celsius. Now to answer the 14, we'll use the equation of R0, R1 equals to 1 plus temperature and the T1, T2, which is for 0 degree Celsius and minus 40 degree Celsius. So this will give us the answer 2.32 ohms. In number 16, we first identify the values of P, which is 1 kilowatts or 1 times 10 raised to 3 watts. So V is equals to 230 volts. D is equals to 0.5 millimeter. And our resistivity is 60 ohmmeter per cm. So we'll use the formula first of P V2 over R, which is 1 times 10 raised to 3 equals our voltage, which is 330 squared, and the resistance. So our resistance is 52.9 ohms. So since we get our resistance, we'll use the formula R is equals to resistivity length over area. So since R is already solved, we'll use 52.9 ohms equals to the resistivity, which is 60 times 10 raised to negative 6 times the length and the area of a circle, which is 1 over 4 pi times the value of 0.5 times 10 raised to negative 1 squared. So we'll have the answer for the length 1731 centimeter. So in number 17, we first identified all the givens and we identify how the movements of the current is made. So this is I total goes into this node. So this node releases I copper and I aluminum. With that movement, we can say that 0 is equals to IT minus IC plus IC minus IA. So IT is equals to IC plus IA. So we have the value for IT, which is 4, and the value for IC, which is missing, plus IA, which is the value of 2.5 amperes. So IC will be 1.5 amperes. Now we'll use the formula V1 is equals to V aluminum is equals to V copper, which can expand into IR equals IR copper. Since we don't have the resistance here, but we have the resistivity, we can also expand the resistance into the formula of R plug. So I aluminum times resistivity of aluminum, length and area of aluminum equals to I copper, resistivity of copper, length of copper, area of copper. Now we have the equation. We have to substitute all the values. So IA is 2.5 equals 2.6 times 10. So negative 3 times 5 times 10 raised to negative raised to 3 over the area, which is 1/4 pi times 2 raised to 2. Same with the other side, we substitute. So IC is 1.5, our resistivity is 1.7 times 10 negative 3, then 3 times 10 raised to 3 over the area 1/4 or pi times the missing diameter 2. Now we have the answer 0.970 mm. In problem 18 and 19, we'll use the formula in 18 in P equals IV. So our power is 150 watts is equals to I times 230 volts, which will give us the answer 0.6521 amperes. So in number 19, we'll use the formula P is equals to V squared over R. Our power is 150 watts and our voltage is 230 raised to 2, then R. So our resistance is 352.67 ohms. So we'll use the formula R1 over R2 is equals to 1 plus temperature 1 over 1 plus alpha temperature 2. Since we have the value for R1, we use 352.67 over R2 equals equals to 1 plus the alpha, which is 0.0047 times 275 degrees Celsius plus 1 plus the alpha 0.0047 times 16 Celsius. We'll get the R2 equals 27.23 ohms. Since now our resistance are all complete, we can use now the formula V equals to IR, which is the voltage of 230 is equals to I times the resistance 2, which is 27.23 ohms. So we will get the amperes 8.446 amperes for number 19. In item 20, you first identify all the given, which is resistance 1 is equals to 120 ohms, resistance 2 is equals to 140 ohms, and the temperature 1 is equals to 25 degrees Celsius, and the rho initial is 0.0042 per degree Celsius, and RT is equals to 0 over 1 plus rho T. Now, we'll use the equation R2 since we're comparing R2 over R1 is equals to 1 plus R rho T2 over 1 plus rho T1. Now, substitute all the givens. So, R2 is 140 ohms and 120 ohms. So, 1 plus the given 0.0042 times the temperature 2 which is missing, and 1 plus 0.0042 times 25 degrees Celsius. So, we'll find the value of T2 which is 68.85. Since we're looking for the mean temperature, T2 which is 68.85 will be deducted T1 which is 25 degrees Celsius. So, we'll have the mean temperature at 43.8 degrees Celsius. For item 25, ang gagawin muna natin ay hanapin yung mga nawawalang node, which is node V1 at V2. So, una, gagawa natin muna ng equation yung mga nawawalang nodes. So, 0 is equals to 5 minus I2 minus I3. So, magiging 5 is equals to I2 plus I3. So, ito yung node 1. So, for node N2, ang equation natin dito ay 10 plus I2 is equals to 5 plus I5. So, magiging 10 minus 5 is equals to 5 is equals to I5 minus I2. After naman yan ay gagawan natin ng equation yung mga nawawalang I or amperes. So, magiging I2 is equals to V1 minus V2 over 4, which is yung resistance. Tapos sa I3 is equals to V1 over 2 kasi may resistance na 2. So, on sa I5 is equals to V2 over 6. Yung resistance naman ng I5. So, after nyan, pwede na natin gamitin tong mga equation para i-substitute dito tsaka dito. So, first, sa V1 is equals to, sa node V1 or node 1 ay magiging 5 is equals to I2 plus I3. So, substitute na natin tong I2 at I3 dito. Magiging 5 is equals to V1 minus V2 over 4 plus I3 which is V1 over 2. So, to solve this, we need 20 equals to 4 V1 over 4 minus 4 V2 over 4 plus 4 V1 over 2 is equals to 20 equals to V1 minus V2 plus 2 V1 equals 20 is equals to 3. So, ito magiging equation 1. Equation 1. So for node V2, we have 5 equals to I5 minus I2. So substitute 5 is equals to I5, which is I5 is equals to V2 over 6 minus I2, which is V1 minus V2 over 4. So, ito times natin to by 12. Magiging 60 is equals to so, ang kalabasan nito ay 60 is equals to 2V2 minus 3V1 plus 3V2. So, magiging 60 is equals to 5V2 minus 3V1. So, ito na ang magiging equation 2. Ngayon, so ang gagawin natin ay gagawin na natin silang equation. Yung equation 1 at equation 2 is equals to 20 is equals to 3V1 minus V2. So, to 60 is equals to 3 negative 3V1 minus 5V2. So, 20 plus 60 is equals to 80 is equals to to cancel positive V2 minus positive 5V2 is equals to 4V2 over 4 equals 20 over V2. So, ito na yung V2 natin. Ngayon, to get the V1 naman ay gamitin ulit natin yung equation 1. So, 20 is equals to 3V1 minus yung value ng V2 which is 20. So, magiging V1 is equals to 13.333 volts. Tapos, V2 natin ay 20 volts. So, ito na yung nodes natin. Ngayon, ang hinahanap sa question ay ang I2, I3, at I5. So, using this equation, pwede na natin makuha yung natin makuha yung I2, I3, at I5. So, ang I2 natin ay V1 minus V2 equals 4. So, substitute natin yung value ng V1 at V2. I2 is equals to 13.333 over minus V2 which is 20 over 4. So, I2 natin ay magiging negative 1.6 0.68 amperes. So, kusang I3 natin ay V1 over 2. Substitute, V1 is 13.333 over 2. So, I3 is equals to 6.666 amperes. Tapos, I5, we have V2 over 6. Substitute 20 over 6. I5 is equals to 3.333 amperes. So this is the answer for item 21 to 25.